James Garner, a man whose charm and honesty made him one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, once spoke candidly about Sally Field in a way that surprised many. Garner, often admired for his on-screen charisma and off-screen integrity, was not one to exaggerate or indulge in gossip. When he finally shared his thoughts about Field, it wasn't scandal or controversy, it was truth, warmth, and respect. Their connection, though not romantic, was rooted in admiration and professional kinship. To understand what Garner truly meant when he revealed his feelings about Sally Field, we first need to explore his extraordinary life journey. James Garner was born James Scott Bumgarner on April 7, 1928, in Norman, Oklahoma. His early years were far from glamorous. Growing up during the Great Depression, Garner's childhood was shaped by struggle and resilience. His father, Weldon Warren Bumgarner, was a carpenter and small business owner, while his mother, Mildred, stayed at home to care for James and his siblings. Tragedy struck early when his mother passed away, leaving the family fractured and vulnerable. Despite this, Garner developed a sense of independence that would define his personality. After his parents' separation, he spent time living with relatives and eventually moved in with his father and stepmother. The years were difficult, often marked by strict discipline and economic hardship, but they also instilled in him a toughness and grounded nature. While other boys dreamed of careers, far away from their small towns, Garner's world revolved around surviving and working hard. He took odd jobs to support himself, learning the value of persistence. These formative struggles would later help him embody characters who were both rugged and relatable, men who carried humor, intelligence, and quiet strength. Garner's upbringing, though painful at times, became the foundation upon which his Hollywood legacy was built. Before Hollywood fame, Garner answered a greater call: military service. At the tail end of World War II, he enlisted in the United States Merchant Marine and later served in the Korean War as part of the U.S. Army. It was there that Garner developed not only courage and discipline, but also resilience under pressure. He was wounded in action and awarded 2 Purple Hearts, a testament to his bravery and sacrifice. After returning from war, Garner briefly studied drama at the University of Oklahoma. However, the classroom could not contain his restless energy. He dropped out, choosing instead to pursue work and explore opportunities outside academia. Fate soon intervened. A friend introduced him to the world of modeling and minor acting roles, where his natural charm quickly stood out. What began as small steps into show business soon became a determined march toward stardom. Garner didn't initially envision himself as an actor, but those who met him saw potential. His rugged good looks, warm smile, and effortless presence hinted at a star in the making. The military had shaped his toughness, but Hollywood was about to polish his charisma. James Garner's entry into acting came almost by accident. While working small jobs in Los Angeles, he was introduced to Agent Henry Wilson, the same man who had discovered other Hollywood talents. Wilson immediately recognized Garner's potential: his height, striking features, and natural screen presence. Wilson encouraged him to change his surname from Bumgarner to simply Garner. The new name carried a Hollywood smoothness, while still keeping a connection to his roots. With that, James Garner was born, the actor, not just the man. He began with small roles in television commercials and uncredited film parts, gradually learning the craft. Unlike many aspiring actors, Garner wasn't overly dramatic. He relied on a natural style, simple, authentic, and real. This approach resonated with audiences. His big break came in 1957 with the television series Maverick. As Brett Maverick, the quick-witted gambler with a twinkle in his eye, Garner became an instant sensation. He wasn't the typical tough guy hero. Instead, Maverick was clever, humorous, and often found non-violent solutions to problems. The role introduced a new kind of leading man: charming, flawed, and human. Garner had officially arrived. From A. 1957 to 1962, Maverick defined James Garner's career and reshaped television heroes. Unlike the stoic cowboys of the era, Brett Maverick was approachable, funny, and clever. Audiences loved him, and Garner quickly became a household name. The role allowed him to display his natural humor and wit, creating a character who felt real rather than scripted. But Garner didn't stop at television. By the 1960s, Hollywood studios recognized his potential for the big screen. His blend of rugged masculinity and boyish charm made him ideal for adventure, comedy, and drama. Unlike many actors pigeonholed into one genre, Garner could do it all. In 1963, he starred in The Great Escape, playing the resourceful scrounger who specialized in securing supplies for his fellow prisoners. The film, a massive success, showcased Garner's ability to balance tension with charm. In Grand Prix, 1966, he performed many of his own stunts, impressing both fans and critics with his daring authenticity. What made Garner unique was his subtle emotional depth. He could play the witty gambler, the daring soldier, or the troubled romantic, all while maintaining sincerity. His performances connected because they reflected real humanity. He wasn't acting. He was being. This rising fame set the stage for one of his most enduring television roles, Jim Rockford in The Rockford Files. While television gave Garner fame, films cemented his versatility. Beyond The Great Escape and Grand Prix, he appeared in a wide range of movies that highlighted his adaptability. In romantic comedies like Move Over, Darling, 1963, with Doris Day, Garner revealed a softer side, effortlessly mixing humor with romance. In Support Your Local, Sheriff, 1969, he leaned into satire, poking fun at the very Western tropes that had made him famous. The film proved that Garner was not afraid to laugh at himself, a quality that endeared him even further to audiences. Dramatic roles also showcased his talent. In Murphy's Romance, 1985, he starred opposite Sally Field, and it was here that their connection truly shone. Garner's performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, one of the highest honors of his career. Critics praised his warmth, wit, and emotional sincerity in the role. Garner continued to shine in films throughout the decades, later appearing in Space Cowboys, 2000, alongside Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, and Donald Sutherland. In 2004, he captured hearts worldwide as the older Noah in The Notebook. His tender portrayal of enduring love brought audiences to tears and reminded everyone of his timeless appeal. Few actors could transition so seamlessly between genres, but Garner did it effortlessly. Comedy, drama, romance, action, he mastered them all. Though he excelled in film, television remained central to Garner's legacy. The Rockford Files, 1974-1980, was his crowning achievement on the small screen. As Jim Rockford, a private investigator who preferred brains over brawn, Garner brought humor, vulnerability, and depth to the role. Rockford wasn't a typical TV hero. He often lost fights, avoided violence, and relied on quick wit and clever schemes. Yet audiences adored him because he was relatable. Garner earned an Emmy Award for the role and set a new standard for television storytelling. The show became a cultural phenomenon, blending detective drama with sharp humor and social commentary. Many modern TV shows, from Monk to Columbo's successors, owe a debt to the Rockford Files. Even after the show ended, Garner remained a beloved figure on television, returning for occasional TV movies and special appearances. His ability to connect with audiences never faded. Off-screen, James Garner was known as much for his integrity as for his talent. Unlike many Hollywood stars, he avoided scandal and controversy. Colleagues described him as approachable, humble, and generous. He never sought fame for its own sake. He valued honesty and hard work. Garner also stood up for what he believed in. He was politically outspoken, supporting civil rights and progressive causes. His outspokenness sometimes clashed with Hollywood executives, but he never compromised. His principles. For younger actors, Garner was an example of how to succeed without arrogance. His legacy wasn't just his films or shows, it was his authenticity. In his later years, Garner never slowed down. He continued acting well into his 70s, proving that his talent was timeless. Roles in Space Cowboys and The Notebook reintroduced him to younger audiences, while longtime fans cherished seeing him on screen again. Even as Hollywood changed, Garner remained consistent. His charm never faded, his wit never dulled, and his sincerity only deepened with age. He wasn't just an actor, he was a storyteller, bridging generations through his performances. Away from Hollywood lights, Garner's greatest love story was with Lois Josephine Fleischman Clark. They met at a party in 1956, and within 14 days, Garner proposed. On August 17, 1956, they were married, beginning a union that lasted nearly 6 decades. Their honeymoon was modest, costing just $77. But to Garner, it was priceless. He often joked about it, saying love was worth every penny. Together, they raised 2 daughters, including Lois's daughter from a previous marriage, whom Garner embraced wholeheartedly. Marriage to Garner was both humorous and profound. "Marriage is like the army," he once said. "Everyone complains, but you'd be surprised at the number who re-enlist." His wit reflected his deep commitment and enduring affection for Lois. Their marriage endured Hollywood pressures, proving that true love could thrive even in an industry notorious for broken relationships. James Garner's life was more than fame. It was about authenticity, love, and integrity. His career spanned over 5 decades, leaving behind unforgettable roles and timeless performances. His words about Sally Field, filled with admiration and respect, only reinforced the kind of man he was, genuine, kind, and honest. Garner showed the world that success did not require arrogance or scandal. Instead, it came from humility, hard work, and heart. His legacy continues to inspire actors and fans alike, reminding us that the truest measure of greatness lies not just in talent, but in character. James Garner, one of Hollywood's most respected leading men, was never the type to indulge in gossip or exaggerated claims. His career was built on charm, honesty, and authenticity, both on and off the screen. So, when Garner finally spoke about Sally Field, the acclaimed actress who shared the screen with him in Murphy's Romance, people listened. What he revealed wasn't scandal or controversy, but a glimpse into the truth about admiration, respect, and the bond between 2 actors. To understand what Garner truly meant, we must first journey through the extraordinary life of the man who said it. James Scott Garner, later known as James Garner, was born on April 7, 1928, in Norman, Oklahoma. His childhood was far from easy. Growing up during the Great Depression, Garner and his family endured financial hardship that tested their strength. His father, Weldon Warren Garner, was a carpenter and small business owner, while his mother, Mildred, managed the home. Tragedy struck early when his mother died, leaving Garner and his brothers to navigate life without her. Raised in a household marked by hardship, Garner learned self-reliance quickly. After his father remarried, he lived with his stepmother, but the relationship was often difficult. Despite the challenges, Garner developed resilience, independence, and a grounded personality. He took odd jobs to support himself, from working in oil fields to delivering newspapers. These experiences hardened him, but also gave him empathy. Garner understood struggle intimately, and that sense of humanity would later shape the roles he chose. Unlike many stars who projected untouchable glamour, Garner embodied a relatability that audiences connected with instantly. His humble beginnings would always remain part of his identity, keeping him authentic even when Hollywood tried to glamorize him. Before Hollywood, Garner answered his country's call. At just 16, he lied about his age to serve in the Merchant Marines during World War II. Later, he fought in the Korean War as a U.S. Army soldier where he was wounded twice and earned 2 Purple Hearts. The discipline, courage, and resilience he built during these years would stay with him for life. After the war, Garner briefly enrolled at the University of Oklahoma, but soon dropped out, restless and searching for purpose. He drifted through odd jobs until fate nudged him toward acting. A friend suggested he try modeling, which led to background roles in stage plays. Though Garner didn't initially see himself as an actor, others saw his potential. His tall frame, rugged good looks, and quiet confidence were impossible to ignore. For Garner, acting wasn't about fame, it was simply another job. But this attitude would later distinguish him from many peers who chased the spotlight. His authenticity, born from real-life struggles, gave him a natural quality on screen that couldn't be taught. Hollywood was about to discover a different kind of star. James Garner's break came when he was spotted by agent Henry Wilson, who also represented other Hollywood stars. Wilson recognized Garner's potential instantly. At his advice, Garner shortened his surname from Bumgarner to Garner, a move that made his name marketable without losing its roots. In the mid-1950s, Garner landed small TV roles and appeared in commercials, where his natural charm quickly stood out. He wasn't trained in the traditional sense, but brought a laid-back, authentic style that audiences found refreshing. Unlike many actors who tried too hard, Garner seemed effortless,